What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the channel. For all of the people that were expecting the live stream to come out tomorrow or yesterday at 12 p.m., I do apologize. Actually had to travel to Eugene, Oregon to make sure that a company out there had their wiped film distillation set up correctly put together and show them how to operate that. They are doing, which is crazy to me. This is actually pretty crazy to me because it's legal there, but they're actually doing sprayable hemp. Sprayable hemp. So they're taking distillate and they are spraying their hemp with distillate, and they're also doing cannabis that they're spraying, but they're spraying that with distillate. So guys, that just leads me to say, be careful about what you're smoking out there. Make sure that you know, it's kind of at a weird point in the market where people can grow pretty crappy flower and then go ahead and spray it with some distillate, and then so you never really know, but they're getting pretty good at being able to hide what they're doing with their flower. So just be very careful. I was actually seeing it a lot all over the rest of the world. There's a lot of it happening in the UK, in Germany, in Brazil, but this was my first actual time seeing it I've seen a lot of Delta 8 being sprayed on smokable hemp, but this was my first time seeing in a state where cannabis was legal and recreational products were legal, them actually doing sprayable hemp. So that was pretty crazy. So I'm going to do the best that I can. I know that might not have a lot of viewers today because everybody thought that the live stream was going to be yesterday, and I do apologize for that. On top of that, not that my personal matters, are any of any concern to yours or whatever, and but we're moving out of our building that we're in now. We're moving into another building, and guys, I don't want to speak death over myself, but I will just say that I do not really like moving so much, right? I mean, everything has to be put on hold, packed up, trucked off. I mean, it's just tough, but it is going to be better. The studio that we're going to be building and moving to is going to be better. Your content is going to get better. Everything's going to be, clear, more clarity. So all of that is going to be look much more professional. So all of that is going to be, good. But it's kind of a pain in the butt moving in between then. So let us go ahead and until we get people lining up and asking questions, bring your questions. Let's answer them right here. We've got you, consultant, right here, ready to go, making sure that we can get all these questions that you may have answered. And until we get people rolling into the chat box, we're probably going to cover a little bit of news here. So that'll be dope. Let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So I actually saw a pretty funny article. However, it wouldn't let me log into it because it was saying that I needed to subscribe to this particular channel, and I'm not going to subscribe to whatever this is just to be able to read this. Look at this nonsense. But there is a lot of hype happening right now. I mean, I don't care that much about Baltimore news to subscribe for 6 months, even for $1. Am I cheap? You guys let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'm cheap. But good morning, Brad, and good morning, Valalayan. I think I'm saying that right. Yes. Always the stream. Trying to get it in, man. Guys, I do apologize for getting it yesterday. But the article... The article says that there is a rapidly expanding new competitor to medical cannabis in Maryland. And guess what it is? Delta 8. Just when you thought that Delta 8 was going to be dead completely and we were finally going to get all Delta 8 out of our lives, and the price of Delta 8 has just hit the floor, dude. Like, it has hit the floor. It is pretty crazy. It used to be like 2,000 a kilo. Now it's like a couple $100. But everything's crashing. If you're paying attention to the market around us, you'll notice everything's crashing. I do believe real estate will be next. Stock market, cryptocurrency, everything is in the red. Yeah, so why not the price of other things? Cannabis goods and things would naturally get hit in a small effect. But anyway, so Maryland is saying like, yo, medical cannabis, they've almost replaced it completely with with Delta 8 out there. So that's pretty crazy. If you want to learn how to make Delta 8, we definitely do have a video that you can search. Use that YouTube search bar and go through WKU Consulting's YouTube channel and watch that search bar. Oh yeah, before I forget, guys, we're going to have a video going through the specific process. No matter where you're at, this will be good. Okay, so for technicians, this is going to help you be able to leverage your technician position, or maybe leverage a future employment opportunity. For CEOs, this is going to tell you exactly what you need to do step by step. The name of the video is going to come out through our sister our sister company called Seed to Shelf, but we will have that here on our channel. And what that video is it is an hour long. It is an hour long. So for anyone that needs to go through that hour long process, or can go through that hour long process, then definitely it's worth your while, because the name of that video is how to build an extraction laboratory. And we'll be going through all the way through creating sales channels, assembling your equipment, how to assemble each set of equipment, how to do your chemical engineering, how to work with your build out, your plumbers, your electricians, how to build your C1, D1 environments, how to go through processing with the state for your applications, all the parameters needed on each specific process part. So it's an hour long, but I tried to cram as much information in there as possible for anybody looking to build an extraction or post-production laboratory. Because guys, no matter what the market is saying right now, I can guarantee you that this is still getting legalized all across the United States, and also across the world. And if you remember during COVID, can we say COVID now on the live stream? I don't know. But if you remember during COVID, marijuana actually proved itself to be recession proof. I mean, everything else was pretty much tanking. Supply lines were going down. The inflation was at an all-time high. But you know what did boom was the cannabis business. I actually did more business during the COVID period, when everybody else was losing jobs or doing whatever. People were still manufacturing cannabis materials. So Matt asks, do you have any videos on using a vacuum oven? Now that I think about it, Matt, I do not. But you know what I will do right here is I will grab my notepad. Let me pull this up. And tomorrow, Friday, is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, tomorrow, Friday, I'm going to do a video for you on how to use your vacuum oven. How about that? So that way you have that, how to use vacuum oven. All right, it's in the schedule. We'll get that video out tomorrow. And no, and actually I was just sitting here thinking like, what should we give what should our next video be? So like, guys, if you have any video ideas or something that you could stand to learn, that you would appreciate learning, or that would really help you out, don't forget to drop those video ideas in the comment, because that is perfect. That is perfect for us. Okay, do I have any videos on using a vacuum oven? So I'm going to get you one. What I'll do is I'll pull up a few. There's 2 vacuum ovens that I really like to use. One of them is from Across International, and the other one is from Cascade Sciences. Even though Cascade, I actually don't like them as much, because they treated me a bit like a butt a couple of months back when I was trying to source some equipment for them, and they made some changes. Their website said one thing, they gave me the invoice, I went to pay it, and then I looked back on the website and the price had increased 150%. So it was 50,000 was the price for the reactor that I was looking at from Cascade. They quoted me the invoice. I went to pay it. When I went back, the price was 200 grand. And so I was like, yo, that is, and I tried to talk with customer service. They said it was a fluke in their system. They didn't mean to do it. And I was kind of like, well, that's not cool, right? Okay, Grant Games. I'm using a regular refrigerant style recovery tank and it's rated to 400 psi. Was thinking of pushing nitrogen into it to force the liquid butane into my material column. How do I remove nitrogen? Refrigerant style recovery tank. Yep, got that, got that. It's rated for 400 psi. You're probably using that little box, that little green rectangle thing. So yeah, okay, okay. You were thinking about pushing nitrogen into the recovery tank? Oh, refrigerant recovery tank, not recovery pump. Refrigerant style recovery tank was thinking to force liquid butane. Ah, okay. You're gonna pressurize your recovery tank to force the Okay, all right, all right, all right. That's one way, that's one way, but just remember you don't need to remove nitrogen. You don't need to remove it. There's no need to remove it. Just let it run through the rest of your system with the butane and everything like that. Now, I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that you're using a passive system. But there's a couple of methods that you can use to force the butane, especially if you're using butane. Man, that pressure is so low, man. It's so low. That's why I actually like to use high concentrations of propane. Get a better color. Hydrocarbon chain is shorter. Pick up less undesirables. I don't see why people are still running butane unless you're making absolutely just shatter only. But anyway, so there's a couple of ways that you can get your gas to move. Number one is you can stick that thing in hot water. So if you've got a big one of those big trash cans, you should probably have those around your laboratory. You can drop your recovery tank into that trash can, heat it up, force all of the gas out, and then put it back into cold whenever you're ready to recover. Or you can pressurize it, like you said, with nitrogen. You can pressurize it and force it out right there. Then you can no so any nitrogen that's in your butane is not going to hurt whatsoever. Don't concern yourself too much with removing that nitrogen. You'll get most of the nitrogen out when you discharge your material into whatever wax, parchment paper, whatever you're discharging it into to run it into the vacuum oven. My favorite method, my friend, for getting slow moving gas out into my material columns quickly is to use that solvent recovery pump, right? Okay, so let's say let's see, could I pull something up here? I bet I could pull something up here to help you understand what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second here. So what I like to do is open that recovery pump, and when I open that recovery pump, I open up all the line to it. Let me do let's see, where am I at here? I got you, bro. I'm gonna pull something up for you real quick that's really gonna help you make sense of all of this, all of these shenanigans that you're talking about right here. Okay, let's get that Blender file pulled up because this is really, I think, gonna help you see what I'm trying to explain, and I'll show you in this 3D model here. Boom. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's maximize this. Let's pull this down. And let's swap over here, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I mean, who else is going to do this type of stuff for you right here? You know what I'm saying? Probably nobody. You know? Yeah. I actually, I'll tell you that story in just a minute. Okay. So, here we are. Here we are, buddy. Here is, let me know if you can see this, Grant. So here is your recovery tank. Boom, right there. We got a big fat recovery tank. And what we want to do is shoot butane into that column, right? But the problem is that when it's butane, our pressure is low, and once it equals out, even though we've put our column under vacuum, once it's equaled out there and we're not getting much pressure, the gas stops flowing and our scale is not showing us any movement, and that can start to drive you bonkers. So for this particular instance, but this will work on any closed loop that you're looking at here, right? It'll work on all of them. So we'll keep everything open like we're charging to our charging rail into our column, into the top of my molecular sieve. You guys see that molecular sieve there? Oh, whoa. There it is. So from the bottom of my extraction column into the top of my molecular sieve, out of the bottom of my molecular sieve into the top of my recovery tank, right? That's where I'm recovering all of my gas. Now, all I have to do to create pressure is open up that solvent recovery pump. Open up that solvent recovery pump, and that solvent recovery pump is going to put back pressure on the rest of the system, which is going to put back pressure on this right here. There you go. And as that back pressure comes, it'll start forcing that solvent out and into the top of your column to where you get a nice, so normally I always aim for, oh, sorry, I don't know why I put 10. 10's not right. 2 pounds of solvent for every 1 pound of biomass. And the way that I'm getting those readings is right there on my trusty scale, right? So if I got 10 pounds in here, I want to flush 20 pounds through it. And people say, well, Grim, what about your soak time? Look, man, you don't need no soak time. You don't need a soak time. People think that you need some sort of soak time to be able to retain some sort of cannabis, so you can get a better yield or something like that. And I don't know who came up with that whole idea, but it is not the truth. The longer that you soak your material, the more undesirables that you might have in the backside of that material. So I hope that helped. Would it be easier to blast out all the butane with the N2, then recover it? Don't worry about the N2. Also, running CRC would recovery pump create enough PSI to push through the powders? Okay. So no, negative. That's why, man, I just closed it too. I should have read that. But, man, that's why I really do think that seed to shelf is going to revolutionize the entire cannabis industry because, man, we're going to have like in-depth training videos where you don't ever need a consultant again. You'll never need us again. You'll just straight up be adequately trained on how to do everything. So I see what your problem is. Your CRC doesn't want to move, doesn't want to push through the powders. First, I would highly suggest that you go back and you watch a few videos on how to throw that CRC away completely. Throw that thing away. It's worthless. And it's actually becoming illegal in some states. But however, here you go. You see what I like to build on top of my CRC? I like to build a T filter, right? I mean a T fitting. That way, I can introduce my nitrogen right here. That's where I want to introduce my nitrogen. So if I'm having a hard time flowing through there, my butanes came to the top, I'll use a nitrogen assist to purge that through that CRC if I'm having a hard time with my media. So because I'm always using an active system, because if you're using a passive system, you're just wasting your time. There's too much time being wasted, especially when trying to get production. So since I've got my recovery pump is what I'm going to use to make all of my gas flow if I reach a standstill. The only time that I really need any nitrogen at all would be at the top of that CRC when I'm having trouble moving through the powders in the flask. That's when I would use that. Okay, LDE is the pure 322 organic salt open blast I gave crack for media bros. Would it help to use any CRY or CRX? I've never used soak time, and CRX media is not any use for ethanol extraction. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that, Rick? Are you getting a crap color, or what's going on there? Why would you want to use? I never use CRY anyway from Media Bros. I'm always using CRX, but it should help. It will help remediate the color a little bit. It absolutely will. If you wanted to use that CRX, it totally would. Open blast, I would get you a better setup than an open blast setup, straight up. I would get a better setup than that open blast setup. I think it's much safer. There are people that can get away with it. I'm not one. I don't open blast anything. First time cry custom column, simple as can be. Yeah, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, sure. Man, that's totally okay. Like get in where you fit in, straight up. Get in where you fit in. First time CRC, okay, custom column, simple as it can be. Yeah, so get rid of your CRY, use your CRX for Media Bros, and then just make sure that you're using a bit more ethanol than you would normally use for extraction. Oh, sorry. You're using dimethyl ether. So it's the exact same process. Your CRX is not going to, your solvent is blend is not, well, I say that, but it will eventually, but probably not for what you're doing. It's not going to have any attributes that relate to the way that your CRX media for Media Bros is going to do adequate filtration. You can run that through, but if you're open blasting, that's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. We had to actually go and get we had to go and get some people set up. We had to get them set up for, they were trying to run, like I said, they were trying to spray their distillate. So we had to go get them all set up to make sure that, they were able to get those. I'll show you here. Let's see. But anyway, um, so when you're open blasting and you're getting ready to run through your filtration media, it would be better to run from your open blast to the top of a Buchner funnel that's filled with that CRX media, but that CRX media is already wet. It should already be wet, which means that you want to use your LDE there to create a nice little pad of that CRX. So whenever you're going to open blast, you'll open blast the same as you would over anything else. Maybe you're open blasting through a coffee filter. I'm not really sure how you're doing particulate retention, but you want to just go ahead and open blast, and then blast all of that oil into the um, the um, the top of the Buchner funnel. That might be an efficable method. Probably the most successful method that you're going to have is if you open blast into something like a closed container that you can remix a good amount of solvent in with, just in case you don't get good filtration. But anyway, I digress. Let me go back to my point. If you open blast over the top of your Buchner funnel that's got your CRX media pad, and then under that would be something like an Erlenmeyer flask or a vacuum flask hooked to a vacuum. And then as you're blasting in there, that vacuum should work to pull your solvent that's already left inside of your oil through that CRX, so you get a good filtration there. Is that did that make sense? Did that help answer your question? I hope it did. I hope it did. I sure do hope it did. But yeah, so you would actually be the first person that I know of, the first person that I know of that is actually trying to open blast into some CRC material. But there you go. That's what you get. Here you guys go. Check this out. Here you go. I got you a picture right here. Look at that guy. Boom. Look at this guy. Champ. So we had to go and install this falling film evaporator, all type of chillers, gear pumps. It's falling film evaporator. I don't know why I said that. Wipe film evaporator. And they were talking mad stuff about this because this was only a single stage, but I actually really really liked this wiped film. I really liked it. It was good. It was good. It did its job. After you did your terp strip, you just ran through the main body one more time. Everything standard operating procedure as far as parameters and things like that, and it turned out really nice. It really did turn out really nice, and nice light golden oil on a first pass run. Still waiting for some tests to come back from that, but I am pretty sure we got approximately 90% total active cannabinoids. All right, what do we got here? Ashless paper, and I don't know how it works, but one of those cry adapters, by the way. It's just a 1.56 foot column. Sounds good to me. Okay, perfect. So you are understanding. All right, ashless paper instead of coffee filter, dope. But with one of those cry adapters, yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect. That should work great. That should work great. So anyway, since we only have looks like just Rick only viewing this channel right now, we'll just go ahead and run through some news. We've got HHC. They're getting speculating, but you have Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas. You have a couple of states that are saying that HHC is okay. So for all of my hempire boys, all of my hempire boys out there that are, we still got a Brad. That's good. Still got a Brad. All of my hempire boys that are out there still building in the hemp community, there are still some ethical places that you can still sell your converted CBD soup to all of these different states if that's what you're into still and you're still trying to make some money. I really would advocate anybody that is converting alternative cannabinoids from CBD isolate into something where you can still have that psychoactive effect and distribute it all over the United States, that you highly prepare for getting ready to pivot over into the recreational market. Thailand, bro. Should we all move to Thailand? Let me know in the comment section if we should just all move to Thailand right now. The Southeast Asian country will soon allow residents to grow cannabis for medical use. Smoking pot recreationally still carries harsh penalties. However, Thailand says it plans to give away 1 million cannabis plants to households across the nation in an effort to generate enthusiasm for a law taking effect next month that will allow residents to grow weed for their personal medicinal use or as a small-scale commercial enterprise. Guys, this is extra lit. Did I whip it? Okay, all right. So, what do we got here? Let's answer Brad. But anyway, Thailand, dude, Thailand giving away plants. They want you to get excited about them legalizing marijuana. So in doing that, they're just going to go ahead and give away a bunch of plants. Psh, we should write our senators and tell them like, hey, to get everybody excited about changing the laws into a recreational law, let's give all the United States citizens plants. We should give all the United States citizens plants. If you're a United States citizen, everybody should get a free plant. Okay, so Brad says, I'm having problems with separation of the water layer and the organic layer. Did I whip it and overmix it? No, nope. What solvent are you using, Brad? Let me know what solvent that you're using in the chat right there. You should have no problem separating aqueous and organic. I mean, oil will always float on water. Oil will always float on water. That is, unless you're using something like ethanol, which is yeah, if you're using heptane. Did I whip it and overmix it? That's not even possible. That's not even possible to overmix it. What do you mean that you're having problems with separation? It's not separating at all. It's separating slowly. How long are you allowing it? How long are you waiting for it to separate? Because, you know, the water layer from the organic layer. Walk me through your process here, Brad. What do you got going? What do you got going on here? You know, are you mixing to wash out delta 8, you know, your catalysts, your acids, and then you're neutralizing? 2 days sit and a half liter of tin. I'm not sure. I don't go back to the drawing board on that one, buddy. I've never seen it. I mean, I've never seen. I'd have to walk through. I probably couldn't do it on your live stream today. I probably couldn't do it on your live stream, but you can send me an email at grim@wkuconsultants.com and you can schedule a phone call consultation. And at that point, I can get in your laboratory and you can put me up on something like a Zoom video or something like that. Throw your cameras in front of your equipment and let me see what's going on. And I could try to walk you through it the best that I can, my friend. But, yeah. No, I mean, you don't need to let it sit in a freezer. It should just be at room temperature there. Just hanging out at room temperature. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, like I said, man, shoot me an email. Grim@wkuconsultants.com. Shoot that email over there and let me know what you got going. Let me put some eyes on some of your equipment and see if there's something that I can do to be able to help you figure it out. I have a feeling that something's not right. Something's definitely not right. Actually, I don't just have a feeling that something's not right. Something 100% is not right. So we'll have to go through there and figure that out and make sure we know. Send me the email, man. Send me the email. Try to set up a Zoom meeting where we can get, even your phone camera or something in your laboratory. Let me look at it. Let me see what I'm looking at. And then, without texting me every little thing, I'm really not going to be able to figure something out like that. If you're having a weird problem like that, I'm not going to be able to figure it out just by you throwing comments in the comment section. We'll need to get on the phone or something and go through it in depth. But I have no problem helping you do that. Just, reach out to me. Reach out to that email. So it looks like we got a short one today, guys. It looks like we got a short one, and that is probably due to my own fault on not being consistent and not being on time yesterday. Like I said, please bear with me, guys. Like, I'm telling you, let me see my video ideas. I got 25 video ideas. So as soon as we can get moved into our new office, I'm actually gonna do I'm gonna give Matt we'll do a how to use a vacuum oven video tomorrow. But so I'll get that going. But other than that, 20 plus videos that we're gonna be doing, and we'll try to drop 3 a week, where you can really just hone in, plug in, get into it. All of these places up here, we've got education out the wazoo. Is that something people say? We got education out the wazoo. So, you guys, we're gonna be cranking it up. And I'm sorry, just give us a little bit of time. I know, especially when you say you're gonna do something, you have to do it. But unfortunately, you got to understand that if my apprentice cannot pick it up, that's all that we are, man. Like, we're like a 6-man team. There's not many people. Now my other company, Seed to Shelf, there's 40 to 50 people that work for us. However, with WKU Consulting, I got myself an apprentice that I'm training, an accountant, and a customer service lady. So, and an attorney. After that, there's, so whenever jobs come in, which they do often come in, sometimes I got to leave. I try to take my little studio with me, especially if I got to fly on a plane or something like that. But I do apologize. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. And thanks for worrying about me, man. Don't worry too much. We're protected. We are absolutely protected. Guarantee that no bad can come to us. How much will the course cost? If you're talking about Extraction Builders Pro, like, I got a full course with literally 72 hours of video that it costs $1,000 to enroll in the course and take the entire course. But you can pay payment plans. We can unlock, if you wanted to do 4 payment plans at $250 or something cheap like that, then I can unlock every quarter of the course for you as you make payments. I mean, I'm just trying to get that information out there to you. Really, the only money that's coming back from that specific course is the time and effort that we put into making sure the education course was out there. I'm talking about these next 20 plus videos that we're going to be doing. It's all going to just be for you guys. We're not going to charge you anything for it. We're just going to put it on YouTube and let people hear it. We will do a couple more of these live streams, probably 1 or 2 more once I get settled into our new studio and how everything's going to be going. We've got a new studio, we've got a new office, and in the office we have actually a place that we're going to designate for studio. We'll do a couple of live streams in that, and then we'll cut everybody off that's not plugged in to the community or not subscribed. So that way you guys get the benefit. And we'll take it up a notch. We'll take it up a notch, and we'll really go in depth. I'll pick a topic each and every time, that if we don't get questions coming in, we can just sit there and drill into the actual chemistry behind some of what we're doing. Because, guys, a lot of this, we're not doing this for views. And Sometimes you can get 10, 15,000 views, and that's great, a couple thousand subscribers, and that does definitely help build relationships. But other times you put out valuable golden information, and one or two people watches it. So, I'm doing it because I want to see you guys succeed. I'm sowing it to you because I really want you guys to succeed. There's a viewer, he always watches us. His name is Robert. It was actually him that called me out to his laboratory to look at things. He was having trouble getting it together, so I went out there, fixed everything for him, and then the CEO is who I was getting to make our payment. And he asked me, he said, they were considering Robert and maybe he could stick around. They asked me, what do you think about Robert? And I said, Robert was the only person that I taught the machine to. When I went there, I made sure that even though the CEO was paying me, I made sure that I was empowering Robert to be able to do what I was trying to teach the rest of the company to do. And that in turn allowed Robert to be able to get that job, maintain that job. Because naturally, the CEO and the laboratory manager and everything, very, very few times they'll sit around and they want to learn the organic process. But when you make a lot of money, like the CEO buys his time back with money. So he's trying to free himself up. Very busy man. It's very, very seldom that they want to get deep into the chemical processing of everything. But we were actually able to empower Robert to where now he's not just a consideration on maybe they will let him work the job, but they hired him there, and they asked me, what do you think about Robert? I said, I think Robert's perfect for this position. So we absolutely want to see you guys succeed, and we'll do anything that we can, anything that we can feasibly do as a business to make sure that we're taking dominion over this industry, and we're building the next generation of technicians and chemists that will really do everything right. And I think that can change the face of the globe. So I just ranted for a while. I'm not even sure what we were talking about, but looks like that's the end of our live stream, guys. You guys are awesome. I mean, if there was only 2 of you, 1 of you, 3 of you, doesn't matter to me. I would do it regardless because I have confidence and I'm investing my time in you, and I know it will repay itself back in one way or the other. We'll see you in the next video. Nope, you can't. Just to answer your question real quick, you cannot over purge wax. There's no such thing as over purge. You can sit there and play around too much. At some point you're not doing anything. Do a purge. If you're doing wax, do your wax temperature, whatever your vacuum temperature oven is, and do a 36-hour purge. 12 hours, come in, flip it. Actually, you should do a 3-day. You should do a 3-day. 24, 48, 72 hours. Sorry, double that. That was only 12-hour days. Do 72 hours. So first day, go in, purge it, come back, whip it. Second day, purge it. Third day, purge it. You shouldn't be doing more than that. You're probably not doing much. Peace.